Welcome to Oklahoma. Today I'm taking y'all with me on a 2-day road trip through the Sooner State where I'll be showing y'all some of my favorite stops near Oklahoma City and spending an entire day exploring the iconic Route 66. Also known as the Mother Road, Route 66 is a historic highway that originally stretched from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California. Nearly 100 years later, it's still a popular cross-country road trip in the United States, especially on a motorcycle. And while there are many roadside attractions along the 2,400 miles of the Mother Road, I'll be showing y'all just how much there is to see, eat, and do in just 100 miles through Oklahoma. This video was made possible by Dairyland Motorcycle Insurance. Dairyland has offered competitive rates and quality coverage for motorcycle insurance for nearly 60 years. They also offer educational resources, financial flexibility, and personalized options to get you on the road quickly. Good afternoon. I was like, is it still morning? It's definitely not morning. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Davis, Oklahoma. I have already done about 300 miles today. I've got about another 150 left for the afternoon. I'm gonna be staying in Oklahoma City tonight and riding Route 66 to Tulsa tomorrow. Now that's only 100 miles between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, but there's so much to do, and I'm just so excited to make this video that I want to spend the whole day doing it and showing y'all a bunch of stuff. I used to live and spend a lot of time in Oklahoma, and I just love this area. I love this state. I think it is very underrated, and there's a lot to see here. So I also feel like this video is just very overdue because I spent all my time here before I ever had a YouTube channel. So very excited to make this video. Our first stop of the day is Turner Falls here. I'm actually at the Overlook. It is free to stop at the Overlook here. You can pay to go in and actually go swimming, and that was my original plan, but last I had heard a couple days ago, the park was closed due to flooding. I mean, like crazy flooding. There's no way you were getting in there, but it looks like the water levels have kind of gone back to normal, which is great. It is $20 as of 2024 to go swimming here and enter the park grounds. It is on private property, so that is something to be aware of. You can also camp here, but you do have to go over a water crossing and on a motorcycle depending on the water levels. That might be a little difficult, so just something to keep in mind. But it is just gorgeous. It's one of the largest waterfalls in Oklahoma, and anytime I'm in this area I always stop to at least see it, if not stop and swim. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and make our way my way. Whenever I say ours, by the way, I'm talking about y'all because y'all are along for the ride with me, and I always get asked in the comments. But anyway, we are gonna make our way down the hill here on 77. It's a nice twisty couple of miles down to the Arbuckle fried pie store, the original fried pie store, and I love this place and I can't wait to stop and show it to y'all. So let's go. I'm so excited to be here. I haven't been here in like 7 years, so this is gonna be a good time. The very first snack of the trip is going to be the Arbuckle Mountain Fried Pie Shop here in Davis, Oklahoma. Like I said, it's just a couple of miles down the hill from the Turner Falls Overlook. So this is all very doable to see and do and everything, probably within 30 minutes to an hour, assuming you're not filming like I am. You may hear a bunch of cars in the background as well. I am actually at a gas station. So this fried pie shop is connected to a gas station right here off of Interstate 35. It always has been here. And this place actually has been here for like over 30 years. This is like an absolute staple when you're traveling down I-35 through Oklahoma. But for me, a staple is always getting one of their sweet fried pies. And then I also got one of their chicken and vegetable fried pies. I'm gonna guess this is kind of like a chicken pot pie. I've never actually had one of their savory ones. I always just get the sweet ones. So we're in for a true treat today. So a fried pie is exactly what you think it would be. It is a little pie that's fried. They make 3 different styles of fried pies here. They make sweet, savory, and then creamy as well. So those ones just kind of have like a cream filling. So the savory ones, they actually like deep fry right in front of you. So it takes like 7 or 8 extra minutes to get. It's nice and warm. Ooh, and it is like a chicken pot pie in the inside. Look at it. I'm very excited about this. Here goes nothing. Wow. This is so good. What have I been doing with my life? I'm not even kidding. I would come back here just to get the savory ones, and I'm just like, what have I been doing not getting the savory ones all these years? It is like perfectly creamy, like the pastry crust isn't too greasy. This is incredible. Wow, I'm so happy. I still have a whole other fried pie. I'm not kidding you when I say this is like some of the best like chicken pot pie I've ever had, and it's in the form of a fried pie. It's delicious. I almost didn't order this because I was like, oh, I don't need 2 fried pies, but I really want a sweet one, but I want to try a savory one for the internet. So you guys are a great influence because y'all are the reason I got this. And it has been incredible. So thanks all. I'd like to say that I saved the best for last, but I don't know if that chicken and vegetable one can be beat. It was so good. But this is the fried pie that I typically get when I come here, and it is one of their sweet ones. This is actually a cherry flavored fried pie. So here you can kind of see the filling on one of the sweet ones. I think I typically get a blackberry one. I'm not entirely sure, but this cherry one's great. I feel like I'm gonna get cherry filling all in my hair here. Is it messy? Yes. Do I care? No. Luckily, I didn't stuff myself to the rafters because we're only 80 miles from Oklahoma City, and there's more good food there. Honestly, Oklahoma City's kind of like a hidden gem foodie town. I feel like there's a lot of really good food there, and it's a very like underrated place to think of when you think of like a foodie destination, but it's really great, and it's grown so much since I used to spend a lot of time in the city. So I'm excited to go back, and there's definitely a couple spots there that I'd like to take y'all to. I don't know if we'll get to both of them, but there's definitely one more sweet treat that I'm getting on this trip because I have been dreaming of it forever. So I will make a game time decision once we get to town. Now I had to make some adult decisions on the way here because I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to eat a real dinner and have another treat. And honestly, I've waited 7 years to have a treat. So I decided to do the adult thing and have another slice of pie here at Pie Junkie in Oklahoma City. I used to come here all the time whenever I lived here. They've been voted like the best dessert in Oklahoma. Like, this place is incredible. They serve their pies, like they source them to restaurants in the area. So sometimes you'll see pies on the dessert menus and they'll actually be Pie Junkie pies, which is really cool. I went ahead and enjoyed my peanut butter chocolate pie inside. It's a very small little like pie shop, and it is packed. I mean, people are just going in and out constantly. But when I say it is the best peanut butter chocolate pie I've ever had, I'm not kidding. It is so good. But I'm gonna go ahead and go meet up with one of my friends for the night, and I will see y'all in the morning for actual food. I will eat more than just sweet treats tomorrow. I've got some meat treats on the menu. So I'll see y'all tomorrow for Route 66. Good morning from Oklahoma City. I am in Edmond. It's actually just north of Oklahoma City, and this is where I'm going to be starting my ride from Oklahoma City to Tulsa today. So this part of Route 66 is only about 100 miles, but there is a ton to see, eat, and do between here and Tulsa. There's no way I can cover all of it in one video. But before I even get going, I wanted to grab a coffee, so I stopped here in Edmond. Edmond is part of Route 66. It's kind of like the northern end before it starts to head east towards Tulsa. And their downtown area is very historic, lots of little old buildings and lots of eateries. I saw this coffee shop online called Evoke, so I wanted to stop here and get my day going with a latte. Their food menu looks incredible. I'm not going to be eating here though. I just need to save room for lunch because, as I said yesterday, I had sweet treats yesterday and I want meat treats today. So I'm going to save breakfast here for another time. But our next stop is actually going to be gas because I need it, and there's no better stop to get gas at than Pops. Alrighty, y'all, so the first stop of the day is Pops. This is a gas station slash diner slash just in general very popular stop along Route 66, especially right outside of Oklahoma City. I used to come here all of the time. This is a very common motorcycle meetup spot in the area. There's actually like 8 different motorcycles outside right now. There's people just hanging out in the parking lot talking to each other. They do have some motorcycle parking right up by the building, so that's how you know this is a popular spot for bikes. But they have hundreds of flavors of sodas. They also have breakfast here. They also have like burgers and all kinds of other food. And I have eaten here a few times, and it is nice to stop here and eat, but I wanted to stop and eat a little further up the road, but I couldn't not stop and break my ranch dressing cherry with y'all. I have pranked people with these and brought them here and made them drink these, and I have actually never had one. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this out together. Now this soda is not refrigerated. It is found on the disgusting aisle here at Pops, which tells me everything I need to know about this, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of terrified to try it. But let's go. There's actually like something floating in it already. I'm mildly terrified, but bottoms up. I'm normally not very scared of eating things or drinking things, but I'm scared. That's enough. I'll have one last little like sip just for y'all. You should try it for yourself. It's great. Now that I got my literal 2 droplets out of that, we're gonna go ahead and throw it away and head over to lunch just up the road. I'm not gonna have time to stop and show y'all the Arcadia Round Barn, but I did want to mention it because it is something that's so cool to see and experience if you have the time. You can go inside the Round Barn, and it is really, really cool. I've been in it before, but we just don't have time on this trip because I don't want to stand in line all day at this barbecue joint, nor do I want them to sell out of everything. So let's go ahead and head up the road, and I'll see y'all there. What a beautiful day, y'all. It is just perfectly sunny. It's like in the 70s. It is just such a good day. There's so many bikes out riding. I mean, I've seen dozens of bikes just in the last 15 miles of me going from Pops to my next destination, which is here at the Butcher Barbecue stand in Wellston, Oklahoma. This place has been on my bucket list for a while. They are known for their pork ribs. I typically do not get pork ribs. As y'all know, I am a big fan of beef-based barbecue, not pork-based, but they are known for their ribs, so I figured I'd take one for the team today and try some and let y'all know how it goes. I did get their 2-meat combo, so I did get some of their brisket. Totally forgot to ask for moist, so I got lean, which is totally fine. And then, of course, I got mac and cheese and some of their apple pie barbecue beans, which I'm pretty excited to try because it sounds really interesting. So I think I might need some of these napkins for this. Let's go ahead and dig in on one of these ribs here. Okay. Well, there's that. If y'all notice, all the pork fell off the bone. I think that just right there shows you how tender these are. Oh my gosh. You can kind of see how tender the meat is there. Those are incredible. I might be a believer now. As all of y'all know, I'm not a big fan of saucy barbecue because I hate when my hands get all sticky. And these ribs are coated in like a saucy sauce. So it's hard to keep my hands dry here. But let's go ahead and try some of this brisket. For lean brisket, this is incredibly tender and it's not dry, which makes me so happy. Awesome. Time to dig in to the mac and cheese here and check it out. I'm already getting full and I still have like half the food on the tray. Nice and creamy. They're playing Charlie Crockett right now and I love that. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Hopefully you can't because it's copyrighted music, but one last thing to try here, and it is going to be the apple pie barbecue beans. And there are little pieces of apple in here. I can see it with all like the seasonings and stuff, which is really cool. So let's give these a whirl. That is a very unique flavor. I've never had apple pie flavored beans, and I like them. They're different. It literally tastes like if a can of beans fell into an apple pie. It's the best way to describe it. Very unique. This place has been on my bucket list for at least 8 years now, so I'm so stoked that I finally got to visit. Highly would recommend coming here. It's definitely a motorcycle destination, or just a destination in general on the stretch of Route 66. I believe it is like the barbecue joint on Route 66. So definitely something you have to do if this is going to be a ride that you're going to do down the mother road, so to speak. So but now that I've got some food, I think it's time to head to our next destination, which is actually like 3 miles up the road. I'll see you there. One of the top motorcycle destinations along Route 66 is the Seaba Motorcycle Museum in Warwick, Oklahoma. The museum is housed in the former Seaba filling station, which was built in 1921 and is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The Seaba Motorcycle Museum is filled with over 100 vintage motorcycles from 1908 to present and features every type of motorcycle you can imagine. From movie props to board track racers to cannonball bikes, pretty much everything is here. The museum is free to enter, but donations are appreciated. I'm so glad I finally got to check this out because it has been on my bucket list to do forever. And I guess every time I've stopped by, it's been a Wednesday because it's the one day a week that they're closed. But this place is cool. I would definitely plan to spend at least 20 minutes here, maybe 2 hours or more, depending on how into vintage bikes you are, and even memorabilia. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's a Evel Knievel game over here. There's dirt bikes. There's everything here. Now, if you visit the Seaba station, definitely come over here to the side of the building because there is this old rock structure, and it actually used to be the original bathrooms to this little gas station, and it was one of the only gas stations of its time that had real plumbing back in the day, because in the 1920s that wasn't really a thing. So, oh, you can go inside it. Let's go on the other side really quick. Random motorcycle parts. Well, there isn't much left in here. You can see the old toilets, but that's pretty cool that this is still here. That's very rare. Believe it or not, we've only made it about 30 miles up Route 66 from Oklahoma City. And the next stop of the day is Tulsa. You might not guess it from Tulsa's skyline today, but it was once the heart of a booming oil industry, earning it the nickname the oil capital of the world. Crossing the Arkansas River into Tulsa, you'll find the Cyrus Avery Centennial Plaza and Memorial Bridge, named after Cyrus Avery, the father of Route 66. The nearby original 11th Street Bridge, built in 1916, connected Tulsa with oil fields and later became part of Route 66. Sculptures at the plaza depict the Avery family and a Model T Ford meeting an oil-filled wagon on Route 66, symbolizing Avery's dream of a highway from Chicago to Los Angeles passing through Tulsa. I have officially arrived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the last 60 miles from the Seaba Station Museum to here was so bumpy. I kind of forgot how bumpy that road is. Like I said, I've ridden it before, but I just wanted to make sure and say something about it because in other videos I've made where the road quality wasn't very great, people always leave comments after doing the ride. They're like, I wish you would have warned me about how bumpy it was. So here I am. It's definitely an old, bumpy road, but it's the mother road. It's a classic. It's just, you gotta do it. You gotta suck it up and just ride through the bumps. It is humid here, and I think I need some air conditioning. So at least something. I need to get moving again because it's getting a little too muggy for my liking. So let's hop back on the bike and figure out where we're gonna end up next. 28 miles of Route 66 travel through the Tulsa area, and there is plenty to see, eat, and do without detouring from the main route. After a brief stop at the iconic metal gold neon sign, I decided to stop at the Mother Road Market, which has been voted as one of the best food courts in the country. And since I was there at 6 p.m. on a Saturday, it was packed with people. So I decided to grab a scoop of ice cream and enjoy it in the parking lot before heading to my hotel to check in and cool off from the hot summer humidity and to choose a new spot for dinner. And just like that, the sun is down and I have a lot to update y'all on because I've officially gone to dinner, gotten some snacks, as well as checked into my hotel room since I saw y'all last riding down Route 66. So I went ahead and checked into my hotel a little bit early because the humidity was just pretty brutal and I was just ready to be off the bike for a minute and drink some water and get hydrated. I'm staying at a Best Western Plus actually. I've recently become pretty fond of Best Westerns because they do let you park your bike right up front by the door 99% of the time. I've only stayed at one ever that told me I couldn't do it. But that hasn't been recently. That was over a year ago. So we're not even going to bring that up right now. But anyway, this one is right next to Route 66 Harley-Davidson. It's like a block that way or something. Anyway, this is where I'm staying. It's actually a really nice hotel. I would definitely so far recommend it, just from my initial thoughts of checking in and seeing my room. As far as food goes, it was a tough choice picking somewhere to eat this evening. A few days ago, I actually had asked y'all about food recommendations in Tulsa on Facebook. So if y'all don't follow me on Facebook, be sure to go over on Facebook and do that. I do communicate on there a lot if y'all have Facebook anyway. But I asked y'all for food recommendations in Tulsa and y'all gave me a lot of really good ones. Some of them were already on my radar, some of them were not. So now they are on my radar for next time. I tried to go to Mother Road Market. It's supposed to be a very good indoor food court. It's won awards and stuff. And it definitely lives up to its hype because I got there at about 6 p.m. and it was absolutely packed. It was so overwhelming that I just decided to grab a little scoop of ice cream, support a small business, and leave. Because it was just so busy, I decided to go with the alternate option, which was the Sputter. Someone recommended this to me saying that it had a lot of oil history, and Tulsa used to be the oil capital of the world. There's a lot of oil field history out here. And so I was like, yeah, this is right up my alley. So I definitely want to check this out. And that place did not disappoint. I got a 9-ounce filet and it came with a baked potato soup, and a house salad. It is a little steep as far as price goes. It was about $50 for all of that before tip, but it was really good. I would totally go back there and eat again. And I was talking with a couple locals while I was in there, and they even said it was one of the best steakhouses in Tulsa. So I love when locals reassure me that I made a good choice. And the guy who owns it apparently sat me at the table. So I also like to see people working and being a part of their restaurant. So that was also really cool. But I would definitely go back there in the future, and there's just so much food out here and I just can't eat it all. I could, but that's not healthy. But I'll see y'all in the morning because there's one more thing that I want to do that I didn't get to today. So I'll see y'all then. Today is my final day here in the Sooner State. I have a 650-mile ride to my next destination, but there was one more thing that I haven't seen in this area of Tulsa, and I wanted to make sure it included in this video. I was gonna go yesterday, but I just ran out of time, so I figured I'd hit it on the way out of town today, and that is the blue whale. The blue whale was originally built by Hugh Davis, a zoologist and family man who envisioned the blue whale as a special place where his grandchildren could play and swim in the nearby pond. His sketches of the mammal grew until they reached 20 feet tall and 80 feet long. With the help of a friend, Davis spent 2 years welding the metal framework and applying hand-mixed cement, 1 5-gallon bucket at a time. The blue whale was completed in 1972 and attracted visitors from all over and became a place where people swam, fished, and picnicked along Route 66. Although swimming is no longer allowed, the blue whale of Catoosa is one of the most iconic and most photographed attractions along all 2,400 miles of the Mother Road. Well, I'm glad that I finally got to check the blue whale off of my bucket list. It's pretty crazy to think that like people used to swim here and now there's just a bunch of turtles and some people fishing. I definitely wouldn't want to swim in this water as it is today, but I'm sure back in the day it was lovely. I'm glad I finally got to stop here, and I feel like this is the perfect way to end this little 2.5 day excursion through Oklahoma. Special thank you to Dairyland Motorcycle Insurance again for sponsoring this video and allowing me to show y'all so many things to see, eat, and do around the Sooner State. I love Oklahoma. I feel like this state is so underrated, and there's just no way to show everything there is to do here in 2.5 days. I mean, I didn't even scratch the surface. But it's time for me to hit the road. I have 650 miles to do today, so until the next one, I'll see you all on the road. Later, y'all.